Welcome back to The Verdict, a podcast from MLMIC Insurance Company. I'm your host, Tammie Smeltz. As we celebrate our 50th anniversary, we continue our mission, delivering clear, essential insights to help you navigate the complex world of medical and dental professional liability. Join us as we cut through the noise, bring you expert perspectives, and guide you on protecting your practice and your patients. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever you listen to this podcast. My guest today is Nancy May Skinner, Managing Attorney of MLMIC's Legal Department. Hi, Nancy. Welcome back to The Verdict. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at MLMIC Insurance Company?
Thanks, Tammie. And of course, I am the managing attorney for MLMIC's legal department. In that role, I manage our team of professionals, and I'm also a legal individual contributor for case analyses, presentations, account meetings, and providing legal advice to our policyholders. I also serve as appellate counsel and claims counsel, providing legal advice and education internally to our claims and risk management departments and externally to our defense counsel. On occasion, I also handle appeals for cases involving important legal issues in the medical malpractice realm.
Thanks. So you really are one busy attorney here at MLMIC. With our 50th anniversary highlighting the legacy of some of our founding fathers like Donald J. Fager and Ed Amsler, our legal department is clearly essential to our policyholders. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about our legal team?
Yes, happy to. It was an honor to work with Don and Ed, two remarkable medical malpractice attorneys and our founders. Since the legal arm of MLMIC was created by Don Fager and Ed Amsler decades ago, the legal role of MLMIC has evolved considerably. Initially, it was started as a team handling non-party depositions and risk management advice for the most part, and our services and involvement within and outside MLMIC still include those aspects, but have added many others. MLMIC's legal department is a team of attorneys, paralegals, and legal assistants dedicated exclusively to representing and counseling MLMIC policyholders on legal and risk management issues that our policyholders may face in the practice of medicine. Our clients largely include physicians, dentists, PAs, nurse practitioners, practice groups, and healthcare facilities, hospitals and medical centers. We regularly work with these policyholders as well as risk management professionals, office management, staff, either email, telephone, video call, and in person. And more recently, we're also working regularly with our DPs, our producers, who work closely with their and our clients, our policyholders.
Great. And what are some of the services the legal department provides to our insureds?
So we provide risk management and legal advice services to our policyholders on a vast array of legal medical topics. Some of those are how to deal with a difficult patient, how to deal with a difficult parent if it's a pediatric case, because in that case, you've got really, two clients there or two patients that the doctor's dealing with, how to discharge a patient when it becomes necessary, what's needed to get proper informed consent, medical record retention, release of medical records, supervision of non-medical staff and PAs, collaboration as required with the less experienced nurse practitioner, managing social media risks in healthcare, which has become it's just increasing, scope of practice for various licensed and unlicensed providers, and then how does quality assurance and peer review privilege protect our policyholders from having to testify or produce documents in civil litigation. We also provide review of legal documents to our policyholders, so that might include review of consents, subpoenas, medical record requests, any summons and complaint that's served, or any other legal documents served by patients. We review our policyholders' policies and procedures and make recommendations. We review other types of medical legal documents that are, a part of medical practice, like DNRs or MOLST. And then we represent policyholders in certain court proceedings, including non-party depositions, small claims trials. Oftentimes in medical malpractice litigation, attorneys want to depose treating physicians who may not be named as defendants, but have information that is important to some aspect of the medical malpractice lawsuit. So we prepare those practitioners for that type of testimony and then represent them at the deposition as apart from the attorneys representing the parties, so that the non-party practitioners are also protected and their interests are looked after. We also prepare policyholders for testimony and assist them with more logistical type things for hearings, depositions, trials in non-medical malpractice matters. For example, if there's a custody matter and they want to talk to the pediatrician, we'll help the pediatrician out with, what the process is going to be, what they're looking for, and, help them with sort of the logistics on that end. We provide legal analysis internally, mostly to our claims department regarding pending cases. So that could include liability assessments, sustainable value, likelihood of success at trial, likelihood of success on a motion or appeal. Just to backtrack, sustainable value is what the courts will uphold as a reasonable value for a damage. So what we see in the press is the jury awards millions of dollars, and then it will often be appealed to the appellate court to say, hey, is this really a reasonable amount? This $10 million award for a broken pinky finger, or a burn from the famous one is the McDonald's coffee. So then it goes up on appeal and it gets reduced, right? So that number is not often in the press, but we'll take a look at a case and we'll say, this is what the sustainable value is. So if you want to try to settle this case as opposed to appeal it, this is where the number should end up. So we'll provide that service internally. I guess it's actually a service to our insurers externally as well, because we're getting those numbers down to a reasonable number. And then we provide presentations to facilities, practices, healthcare partners, medical societies on whatever they'd like us to present on, but certainly relevant trending medical legal topics. Through these presentations, we keep them updated regarding, what's new legislation that's impacting your practice, what regulations have come out this year, what new cases are there that are impacting the practice of medicine, and that's something that's always evolving. And then last but not least, we regularly provide feature articles from MLMIC's publications, Scope and Dental Scope, as well as providing legal analysis for the case studies that are included in those publications. Online with you, Tammie, we prepare a monthly blog called Open Bar, and that addresses trending legal issues in the medical malpractice arena. So that's pretty much a broad overview of what we're doing.
Yeah, and I'm going to say the legal department has really evolved over time. It's amazing how many services you provide to our policyholders. And you mentioned Open Bar, which is one of our most popular blogs. So we're really grateful that we have the legal department to tap into to provide this really pertinent and relevant information to our policyholders. And quite often I meet with groups and even just individual doctors or facilities and throughout the state, and they always are really complimentary of our legal services. So, our policyholders really need to keep in mind that we're here to help them, not only from a risk management standpoint or an insurance standpoint, but also however we can from a legal risk management standpoint. Now, Nancy, how can an insured reach MLMIC's legal department?
Okay, that actually brings up a good topic. Just skipping back to the last question of the services that we provide. One of our more important or popular services is our hotline. We have a 24-hour hotline for those emergencies. It's Saturday night at midnight and there's a battle between a patient's family and the practitioners about whether to discontinue care of a patient on life support. We're another voice that we can help our policyholders to address those urgent legal matters that happen outside the 8 to 6 on Monday through Friday. But it's the same number that we can be reached at for during the day. If a policyholder or member of the policyholders team wants to reach out with a legal question, they can call us at 877-426-9555. We our team is available 8 to 6, for sort of your everyday, non-urgent matters. And then beyond those hours, you can certainly reach us through the hotline. You'll just be asked to give your information and an attorney will call you back. And then there's also an email, if that's easier, at hotline@tmglawnewyork.com. And those will be responded to on the following day.
Great, thanks for that. So that really is a policyholder perk, being able to reach out to an attorney 24/7. That is just unheard of now these days, right?
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, Nancy, for joining us today. I'm going to put your contact information for the legal department, whether during the day or the hotline, in the notes for this podcast. And we hope to see you again soon.
Great. Thanks, Tammie.
And that's the verdict on MLMIC's legal department. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay connected with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and YouTube for the latest news and updates. This podcast is for general purposes only and should not be construed as medical or legal advice. This podcast is not comprehensive and does not cover all possible factual circumstances. Because the facts applicable to your situation may vary, or the laws applicable in your jurisdiction may differ, please contact your attorney or other professional advisors for any questions related to legal, medical, dental, or professional obligations, the applicable state or federal laws, or other professional questions.